Hi, it's Barbara Greenlee with Green Moon Stamp Studio, and in this video we're going to make a fancy fold. It's called a pop-out swing card, and it opens like this. So let me show you how to make it. Let's get started. I think you're going to find that the pop-out swing card is a lot easier than it looks, but here is what it looks like when you open it. It's got, here's the overhead view. So you have like this square. And then I like to put a tab here so that you have something to pull it open with. Not everyone does that. This one, I decided I liked the tab better in the middle. So let me show you how to make this. We are using the Inspiring Imperfections stamp bundle. Here is the stamp set, and here is the dies. Here are the dies. Some scraps I've got from making this card. I will turn those into something later. And the paper is also beautiful. It is called Kintsugi Inspirations. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I have just a little bit of this sheet left because that's what I'm using for the card front. And then it has these sheets of vases. I have cut out already all of the teacups out of the sheets that were in here. Maybe there's some teacups left. No, I think I cut them all out. So I'll have to make some cards or some designs with the big vases. I love the big vases too. They get die cut out with the dies. And then here is some of the other papers that are in here. Lots of these ones with the crack lines, which is the whole point of this design. There's the fronts. And then here's the back. Whoop. Some geometric, some swirls, some flowers. The pink is petal pink in this, and there's a lot of Misty Moonlight, Lost Lagoon, and I believe the green is Old Olive. Anyway, the paper is beautiful. Let's see. Cloud cover, basic beige, yes, Old Olive, and of course gold. All right, so let me set these aside and show you how to make this mechanism. You're going to, I used a white, thick white card base. So I'm going to score my card base. So that's this one, and score it 4 1/4. If you're using thick white, really any cardstock, I like to score it first, but you don't have to. And then for the inside mechanism, I'm also using white. I like to match the inside mechanism with whatever color my card base is so that it kind of blends together. So the mechanism part is 5 1/4 by 8. And a simple scoring, you're going to score at 2, 4, and 6. But we're going to fold or score one of the lines this way, and then flip your paper and score the 4 and the 6 lines upside down, so that you have one score line coming up and 2 going down. All right, the reason we're doing that is because we're making an odd sort of shape this inside shape here with the square. So you're going to always fold into the mountain fold. So one is going to fold this way, one is going to fold the other way, and this one also folds the other way. All right, so what you have is something that looks like this. Kind of an open square, you know, if you had that, the lid, but it folds out, so it would be open. Okay, so the way that you put this on your card, I will show you that in a minute. The first thing we have to do before we do that is we have to create the window in our card for this front swing part. So on your machine, we're going to cut the window, but first we want to put our paper on there. So, oh, and I just ran out of tape. See, do I have another one? Yes, I do. Okay. So you want to tape this on your card, but you want to tape it right at the edge, because we are cutting out that window and we don't want any tape. Might have got too close to the edge there. Nope, I'm okay. We're cutting out that window, so we don't want any tape in the area where the window is. So go ahead and tape this onto your card first. Then grab your machine. And we're going to lay the card out flat on the machine, because we're going to put the entire card through here. And since we're putting an entire card through here, I'm going to use a new plate on top. I chose the stitched shapes. This is the largest square for the window. So we want to put it right here, a little ways from the top. And like I said, I'm using a brand new plate. So make sure that doesn't shift any. That looks good. Okay, there's going to be some shaking here to get this. It's a little bit harder to put through the machine because it's more layers than normal. And we're going straight on with the straight edge of that. All right, get rid of the machine. And you're going to keep the cutouts. So want to keep these window pieces. And even though the stitch shapes are, you know, square, it's still going to fit back in there if you keep the same orientation. So don't lose track, you know, changing it the wrong way. So set that aside in the right orientation if you're using that one. Okay, now we have our mechanism. So to put this in, you want the flat part to go against the back. And then it's going to work like this. So this is where your shape fits in. So the first thing you're going to do is tape this down. And actually, I do have some decoration for the middle. If you have decoration or designer paper for the middle, You might want to put those in first. I kind of cut these together so that they would match up. Yep, there they match up. Just makes it a little more fun. So let me put this on here. In the middle two panels, and I'll put the measurements on there for you for these designer papers that go on the middle panels. I missed a little bit there on the edge. Okay. So this, I'm leaving a little border all the way around. All right, so I got my two middle panels. Now I'm going to tape down this here. So for all of this part, you can just use your tape runner. And this is going to, you're going to have a normal 1/8 inch border on all three edges. Like that. That's the hardest part. So see, not too bad. Now, in order to tape it to this side of the card, we want our card to be able to fold flat. So we're going to tape it with this flat. So you're going to want to put adhesive right there. You're avoiding the window. So no adhesive in this middle section here. And then put adhesive down here. So we're going to put one tape runner of tape across the top. Don't go past your middle line. And then right on the edge, unless you're using really fat tape, then maybe use liquid glue. But I have enough room for my tape there. And then on the bottom, right here. Okay, so I have, let's see if you can see the shine of where I have the tape. So that's where your tape is going to go. And if you're using a different shape on the front, just adjust that so that your tape doesn't go. Now keep this flat and then just fold over the front and tape that down. All right. Now you have your mechanism. So that's how it opens. Now we need our little window. So let me show you what I did with that. We've got the white for the base, and then I'm going to build that up. So I'm going to cut the next size down of this. I'm going to use all three of these from the stitched shapes. So I am going to cut the Misty Moonlight down to that square size, and I'm going to keep this piece and cut it down also to the inside of the small piece, and then you won't keep this frame. Let me cut that and then show you. All right. So we are done with these shapes, and this is just a scrap. All right, so with this direction, we're going to tape down, get my run, whoops. I was a little too heavy-handed. I created some texture on the back there by running it through my, I'm going to use liquid glue. The texture on there is wanting to grab my tape a little too aggressively. All right, so we're going to put this square on top of that square. And then this one, we want to make sure that it matches back up with our pattern on the front. So the orientation is this way. Let's keep using the glue since I have it out. Make sure I didn't turn that. Okay. All right, now to attach this to the front and make it swing out, we just want tape or glue on this side. So just making sure that that is the right orientation. So you are going to put tape runner I'm not sure what's going on with this tape. All right, back to the glue. Maybe it got hot or something. I am in Texas. And it's up here in my office where it is a little bit hotter than the rest of the house. Okay. That other tape I was using earlier was down in my studio. Okay, so you're just going to put glue right there on this pattern paper that's showing through. Don't go past the center line. And then holding your card flat, you're just going to piece this back in here like a puzzle. And since I'm using glue, I'm going to hold it for a few seconds. And I'm going to decorate the front with a teacup. I had gotten out several teacups for my club to use. They could pick which one looked best on there. There's not any of that color really on the front. I think I'm going to go with the beige on this one. I think that's all I've got left is beige and Lost Lagoon. So I'm going to do beige. And then also I need my tab on the side. So I just used some Misty Moonlight, and I'm just going to cut half of the tab because I don't need it to be doubled over. And, oh, this is that tape that wasn't working well. Get the glue. Just want to put a little bit of glue on the bottom part of your tab. And then we're going to put it on the back side of there, about in the middle. Hold that for a second or two. And then I did cut out some white flowers to go here behind the cup. So I will die cut some flowers to put behind my cup. And then this greeting, this die is also in the set. So you can die cut that greeting. But here is, whoops, forgot that wasn't attached. So here is the card. I also, this is out of the stamp set. I stamped off, since I was using this paper, it's a little bit lighter Misty Moonlight than the actual full strength. So I stamped off to stamp those little things there. And I stamped the flower in the corner. But wait, there's more. I do want to show you my technique book. So this is the technique book that my club does every month when we do our technique. You might recognize some of these videos if you watch my videos. So this was no, that's April. This was last month. And so here is this month. We did a little baby version of this card right here for our book in petal pink. We used those flowers that came off of the vase page. So also here are the measurements, but I will also put them across the screen earlier in the video when we were doing that part. So leave me a comment and a like, and let me know how you liked this technique. Thanks.